Welcome to the AfterMat, your source for WWE pay-per-view recaps. I am your host, the People's Champ Cal, and alongside me, as always, I have my tag team partner, the Glam Amazon, Delisha. Hey, Delisha.
Hey, what's going on?
And I'm sure later on we will have our fact checker come down from the rafters, Joe, and he will give us some interesting facts about last night's pay-per-view that we're going to talk about, the Elimination Chamber. And what's going on, Sugar Nugget? Welcome. Don't adjust your screen. This is not Alexa Bliss. This is me. I know we look very similar, but I got my whole Alexa Bliss gear on, and we'll talk about her in a little bit. I'm very excited for it. I mean, that pay-per-view, we'll get to how we felt about it in a little while too, but I do have like so much gear on for her, and I'm so happy. And I'm probably going to tell you what happened with it, but just, I can't get over how happy I am. But I don't know. The pay-per-view overall was okay. How did you feel about it?
Not too bad. It wasn't like some big flop of a disappointment. There were some matches that did it for me, some matches that didn't, which we'll get into once we get through the breakdown. But overall, yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really have that much hopes for it. That's why I didn't really think it disappointed me that much. But I don't know, like, it was okay. But before we get started, I just want to mention that we do have a GoFundMe going on my Twitter and on my Discord. So if you check that out, one of our Kingsmen. So like I said, if you ever subscribe to the Kingslayer Network, you become a Kingsman. And one of our Kingsmen is in need of assistance. Their mother is disabled with multiple sclerosis. So if you want to donate to a good cause or raise awareness for multiple sclerosis, just, at least retweet it. But if you can donate. The details are on my Twitter and on my Discord. If you have donated already, please let me know, because she does have a little special thank you for you guys. I want to thank Megan Gregory, who also has a channel on YouTube. You can check her out at Megan Gregory on YouTube. She's our first donator, and she has an awesome little thank you coming in the mail soon. I saw part of it, and it looks really good, so I can't wait to see the rest of it. But thank you, Megan, for donating. If anybody else wants to donate, let me know. Just contact me on Twitter or on Discord. And we'll get to all the Twitter stuff later. But I guess let's get into Elimination Chamber. So it started out, there's a pre-show, right? Like, I was like, oh, we weren't even sure what was going to happen for the pre-show, but it ended up being the Bullet Club, or I guess it can't be called the Bullet Club, the Balor Club, of Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson against the Miztourage, Bo Dallas, and Curtis Axel. I didn't really watch match. Did you?
It was on, but I was like getting dinner ready in the meantime, so I like just heard it in the background. But I know who won, which is probably the most important part. I don't know.
Yeah, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows won. I don't even know what their finishing move is called, but they did their finishing move and they won. Do you know what it's called?
Nope.
Yeah, that goes to show you how much I care about that match. Like,
I don't know.
I have no idea what it's called, but it was I'm sure it was a good match, but I think they had a backstage segment afterwards with what is it called? The Revival? Is that what their names are?
Yes.
Wilder and Dawson. And one of them talks. I don't know which one's which yet, but one of them was talking. The other one started talking, and they cut him off, and they went to the thing. Yeah. So basically, Tom in the chat says, summary: a pre-show happened, and then moving on. Yeah. So let's get to the actual pay-per-view itself. It started out with the Elimination Chamber. I think you texted me that you were surprised to see that was first, but they usually bookend it. If they have a Royal Rumble, they'll have a Royal Rumble. Now they have both Royal Rumbles, but if they have like big matches for the women and men, they'll start off with one. I think they did that for the women's ladder match, Money in the Bank ladder match. To start out with the beginning, and then the end match was the men's Money in the Bank. So they did the same thing for the Elimination Chamber. So your contestants were Alexa Bliss, who was a champion. Hold on. Okay. It went off. That describes the Revival really well. That's what Tom says in the chat. So the champion, Little Miss Bliss, was first in, I think, and then came Sasha Banks, so she was also locked in the chamber, and then came Mickie James, I think, and she was locked in the chamber, and then Bayley. I don't know what the exact order was. I think, right? I don't know. Bayley was one of the last, right? So it was the next that came out was Absolution, and I think Mandy went inside the chamber and Sonya stayed out, and then the last person in was Bayley, and Bayley and Sonya fought, and then I think the next member out So every 5 minutes, a new person would come out be unlocked from their chamber, and it would keep going until someone was pinned or submitted, and they would be eliminated, and keep going until there's the last survivor, sole survivor, or whatever you want to call it. So I think Mandy was the first one out, so it's double teamed with Absolution and against Bailey. And I'm thinking, like, why don't they ever go for a double pin? If there's two of you and they're like taking turns trying to pin them, why don't you just sit on her? Like, come on. And then Sasha came out, so it was like a 2-on-2. And then did Mickey come out next? I think Mickey came out next, right? Or was it already an elimination? I can't remember exactly if there's an elimination or.
I'm pretty sure Mandy got eliminated.
Yeah, so Mandy, if you want to know her history or future WWE pop trivia or whatever it's going to be, Mandy Rose is the first ever female eliminated from the Elimination Chamber. So that's what it was. Mandy Rose eliminated. And then I think maybe Mickie James came out, and then Mickie James did like one of those suicide dives off the top, which was a cool spot, but she just went for like a what was it? What do you call those things? Like a Yokozuna splash kind of thing. Not like a crossbody. It was pretty cool too. So it wasn't bad. Like, I was expecting, I always say when there's like a lot of women in a match, there's always so many mistakes. It's sloppy. But this was a pretty decent match without any like mistakes. So I was really happy to see that, because I'm always rooting for them and I want them to do well. And I love the women's division. I love the women's revolution, but there's always mess ups happening when, I'm just reading this chat and Tom said something funny. He's like, one talks, I don't know which for Revival. So then I think Sonya did Sonya get eliminated next, or was it Mickie James? Sonya got eliminated. Yeah, that senton eliminated Sonya because she pinned her, and then right after she got up, I think someone eliminated Mickie. I don't know how. I think it was like Bailey or Sasha that eliminated Mickie, and then it was Bailey and Sasha standing together, and then Miss Bliss came in. And she's like, she didn't want to come in, so she closed the doors. Then they came out, and then she climbed around. They had a gold thing where they kind of cut her off. Our leader, Sugar Nugget. It was good. And then then you knew that Sasha was going to turn on Bailey, and she did. And then how did she get eliminated? Was it a bank statement, or was it how did she get? I don't remember how she got eliminated.
Who?
Bailey.
I don't know why I thought Alexa pinned her. Yeah, I think she did, because I think I'm so bad at this, but I think which Sasha was knocked out. Her head hit the turnbuckle, and Alexa did something to Bailey. I think she eliminated her. I think. Yeah,
I want to say like Sasha might have done her finisher on Bailey, and then Alexa picked up the pin or something like that. I don't know what it was. Joe would probably remember.
Sasha did the 5-star frog splash like Eddie Guerrero and I think she connected with Bailey and then Bailey and then I think there was a belly to belly that Bailey delivered to Sasha, but then as
roll up.
But then Alexa rolled her up.
Okay, I knew Alexa pinned her. I just can't remember how. But yeah.
Yeah, whatever it was. It was just who knows? Like, we know who the main two women left were Sasha and Alexa, and it went back and forth. And like I feel like the only way that Little Miss Bliss can do her finisher is someone had hit the turnbuckle. Doesn't it seem like that? I've seen like the last 5 matches that she's won. Like, it's been someone hitting their head on the turnbuckle, then she does her finisher. But before that, we had a great spot where she did the Twisted Bliss off the top of the cage. Oh, not the top of the chain, the pod.
The pod.
Yeah, and onto Sasha. So that was cool.
Not a Tide Pod, but no, I'm just
kidding. Yeah, she didn't eat that Tide Pod, thank God. Yeah, that's it. Then she hit that. Then Sasha hit the turnbuckle, and there was the what is it called? The Bliss DDT. I don't know what it's called.
I don't even know if it has a move.
I don't think it has a name. She did that and got the pin. So Little Miss Bliss is your first ever winner of the Elimination Chamber for women. So I'm so happy. I wore all my gear to support her. I'm so happy for her. And we knew that was going to happen, but she tried. I remember then she cut a promo afterwards, and we're like, "Wait, is she turning face? Like, this makes no sense." And then she cut the attitude back in with saying like, "Doesn't really matter. You guys can't live your dreams. Only I can." And so this is the closest you'll ever get. And that was good. I like that she went back to her old character because I didn't want to see her turn face yet.
No, she's too good.
And this was, I thought it was a good match. I really liked it. I was worried that it was gonna be sloppy, and I thought it was fun. What did you think?
I thought same in my notes. I notated that the match wasn't clunky. It didn't feel crowded. Everyone got some sort of moment to do something. And I think Mandy Rose was the first one eliminated from the Chamber and the Royal Rumble. So
oh my god.
I think that's it. Someone can go look that up and confirm. But yeah, overall I thought it was really good. And we do have I was talking to my other friend Matt, and I was like, because he was saying either Alexa or Bank or Sasha was gonna win, and I was like, it's probably gonna be Alexa, but with we're still gonna get that underlying subtle storyline of Sasha and Bayley going at it. So because they've been playing that up these last couple of weeks. So they're definitely. I'm pretty sure they might, if they do it right, they'll play into that angle, and that might be another women's card match on either the pre-show or on the WrestleMania card.
Tom Zamino is saying it was definitely stronger than the women's Royal Rumble, which I guess there's, obviously I think it's a better chance of that happening because there's so many more women in the Rumble, there's so many more things going around that there's more likely chances of mess ups. And especially because the only way they pretty much eliminated people in the Rumble was putting them on the top rope, then punched them, and then they fell out. So it's kind of like the same thing over and over, and it kind of got annoying. But yeah, and he also confirms that you're accurate, that he thinks they mentioned that Mandy Rose is the first ever eliminated in the Women's Royal Rumble as well as Elimination Chamber. So that's great for her, I guess. It's not good, but it's also great because she'll always be remembered for that, right?
Dubious honor.
What?
He said dubious honor.
Yeah, dubious honor. Yep. Eventually, she'll be the shortest time in the Women's Royal Rumble as well. So that's gonna be great. I can't wait till she has every single worst record, and that's gonna be awesome for her. So the next match was what I like to call the Tom Zambino laundry folding match, because this is what he did. He's like, I'm gonna go fold my laundry this match. I'm like, but you can't go. You have to watch Sheamus and Cesaro's entrance because that's the best entrance in all of wrestling at the moment, I think. But they didn't even show it because they showed a little bit of it, and then it went to all the international announcers. So we didn't even get to see it. I don't even know what happened in this match because I was so upset about that. And I think I was texting Tom the whole time. He says he's confirming, he's factual. This card did not hold. Just the card, like I said, I didn't really expect much of it. It didn't really hold my interest in any of the matches that we're gonna have. I love Sheamus and Cesaro. I love them, but I'm like, why do I care that they're fighting Titus Worldwide? I don't even know what Titus Worldwide does besides Dana Brooke writing on the thing and then they go whoo, 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 and then whatever thing he does like that. That's all I know. That's all I know about them. Do you have anything more to say about this match? I don't even know who won. I guess Sheamus and Cesaro won. They won.
Yeah.
How was this match? Did you watch it? Because I'm sure you probably watched it closer than I did.
I remember looking at it, but what happened in the match did not register. Because they haven't really built up Titus Worldwide. They seem to, every time they seem to get on some sort of run, they put them back as jobber status, and it's like, well, why do I want to cheer for them if they're just not going to give them a storyline to go with? And then they dropped the last name from Apollo Crews, which was stupid. Why do they keep doing that? Why? What do they have against a second name? But
so he's just Apollo now?
Yeah.
So maybe they'll have a match. Maybe at WrestleMania, it'll be Elias versus Apollo, and whoever loses has to put their name back on. I think that's what it's going to be. That'll be funny.
Pre-show material.
Yes, definitely pre-show material. So you're still your tag team champions. Our Sheamus and Cesaro. Tom, let me know in the chat saying that her character depth consists of unimpressive flexing. He's talking about Dana Brooke.
No, pretty much the only reason this match was on there is because the match they originally scheduled couldn't happen, which would have probably been Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan.
Oh.
Okay. And Jason Jordan is legitimately hurt from what we saw at Royal Rumble, I think, right?
Yeah.
He had surgery on his neck.
Okay. Well, his dad wrestled with a broken freaking neck and won the gold medal, so why can't he do it? Obviously, he doesn't have the genetics for it.
Yeah, he only has half of it, so
Yep. His neck up must be from his mom. So the next match was actually a great match, I thought, and it was probably actually, it was the shortest match of the night, but it was still a great match. I loved it. It was the Asuka versus Nia Jax with an interesting stipulation. If Nia Jax beat Asuka, she'd be added to the triple threat to make it a triple threat at WrestleMania against whoever the champion would be. And now we know it's going to be Alexa Bliss unless something happens, God forbid, from now until WrestleMania. Asuka, and then if Nia wins, Nia would be thrown into that. Now, I did have a prediction, which I thought could happen to make it a better match at WrestleMania to have a triple threat and still make Asuka look good, because Nia Jax has been attacking people all throughout like Raw for the last I don't know how many weeks. I thought maybe they'd all come in during the match and just screw her over without thus catapulting her into the title shot, but it didn't happen, unfortunately. It was a great match, great back and forth. I didn't expect Nia Jax to lose clean, but hey, I don't think she would care. She still looks strong, like we said. And then the best part of the match, or even the night, was not to throw off Little Mrs. Bliss's Twisted Bliss off the pod, but Nia putting Asuka through the barricade. That was awesome. I love that. That was great to see, because I couldn't believe that was going to happen. She looked better than Roman or Goldberg or any of those people doing that. She didn't do a spear. I think she did more like a body senton or whatever it was. But it was great. It was awesome. Like a shoulder charge through, whatever it was. It was a lot better than anything Roman Reigns has ever done.
It was like a tackle. Yeah.
Yeah. So how'd you feel about this match? I know you're a huge Nia fan.
I am. She's not like most girls, you know. But I thought that before the barricade moment, I thought it would be better if Asuka like not submit her, but like put her in submission, and then she like passed out just to keep her strong. But you still got that moment when she like attacked Asuka and put her to the barricade. So either though she went over clean, she still got to be that strong monster-esque persona by putting Asuka through a barricade. And Asuka sold that really well, coming back out, like, you know, having that be helped out by the referees. So she also helped sell that moment to keep her strong. So I'm curious to see where Nia will go with this.
Maybe she'll face the Undertaker.
That would be something. No, why don't they put her against Brock Lesnar? You know, the men can't.
I feel like I do agree. I think maybe she should have been tapped out, but not tapped out, just choked out. Because like Asuka's finishing move is the Asuka lock, right? Where she's like, it's like a rear naked choke with a crossface.
Yeah.
But was it just a roll up, right? It was just a roll up.
Yeah.
Tom's in being saying, no Taker, please no Taker. But come on, Tom, you know that would be better than him versus John Cena. Because Nia Jax is a great wrestler. I'd rather see Undertaker versus Nia Jax instead of not Taker versus Cena. Obviously, they can't do that. I don't know. Oh, can they do that? I don't even know. Who knows?
I mean, they can technically do what they want. Yeah, they're not going to do that.
Because, you know, China used to fight all the guys. I think Beth Phoenix fought the guys. Like, she was in the men's rumble, right? So
yeah,
maybe she'll fight Beth Phoenix. That's what Tom Zayman was saying. He'd hope that Beth Phoenix would come out and mess with Nia Jax. That would be Beth Phoenix versus Nia Jax at the WrestleMania. That would have been kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be a cool match. But, you know, she got a daughter to take care of.
Okay, what do you think of this? They already had the Mae Young Classic, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if they did? Like, I know they don't want to. I know they don't want to like support China or anything like that. But like, you know how they have the Andre the Giant Battle Royal for men every WrestleMania? What if they did something like that for women? Because, you know, they already have the Mae Young Classic. What if they make it like the Moolah something? I don't know. Whatever they do, like they could have that and have Nia Jax win that.
That'd be cool.
And have like all the women in it, including Beth Phoenix. Her and Beth Phoenix would be like the last two people, and then Nia Jax throws Beth Phoenix out. Whatever it is, just like make Nia look good at WrestleMania, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, there's going to be a moment where it's going to be like Charlotte versus whoever. I don't know who she's fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Asuka's going to win against, well, let's not even say it. And then it's going to be Bayley and Sasha. So what do we get?
They keep pushing that Asuka still has a choice between the whoever champion, because she technically has not decided to go after Alexa Bliss. Everyone just, you know, it's just like assumed. But like you said, I think you said she could go after Charlotte.
And and the rumors I'm hearing are that it is indeed that Charlotte's going to be the one facing Asuka at WrestleMania. Because somehow Asuka's going to pick Charlotte, and then Asuka's going to go over to SmackDown Live, and then that's going to leave Alexa without a without a match, without a contender at WrestleMania, and supposedly it's going to be Alexa versus Nia.
Oh no. Well, then don't make Nia look good at WrestleMania because we don't need that. Who needs Alexa looking good at WrestleMania if she's gonna fight? I mean, Nia looking good at WrestleMania if she's gonna fight Little Miss Bliss because we don't want that. Nobody wants that. I sure don't.
Storyline to it.
No storyline to it. We don't need her. Fire Nia Jax.
Well, you know, WWE, they don't like friendships, so they love breaking that up. So that's what it is. But we shall see. I mean,
yeah, that sounds more logical because, you know, even though Stephanie did tell her to wait till that, you know, that sounds more logical to happen. Oh, and don't forget, there's going to be the Ronda Rousey match, too.
Yeah, but she's not facing for the championship.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, still, I think it was one of the best matches of the night for these, for Asuka and Nia Jax, despite it being the shortest match. Yeah. Now, what I wish would have been the shortest match of the night was next, because I didn't understand what was going on. I feel like the intros and all that stuff that goes wrong. I mean, like, that goes on behind the scenes with this, and we don't mention the other company because that no other company exists. That the storyline came from another company, and we're talking about Woken Matt Hardy against Bray Wyatt. And I love Bray Wyatt. I'm not a fan of Matt Hardy, even though he was super nice to me both times I met him. I usually tend to support people who are nice to me when I meet them, but like for some reason, I just can't cling to any of his characters. My favorite character of his was
version 1.
Yes, version 1. And that's what I told him too. I'm like, dude, I still rock your version 1 shirt. But it's funny because he did, before I even went up to meet him the second time at the Royal Rumble breakfast, someone dropped a plate and we were in the line waiting for him, and someone next to me said something, but he thought I said something. So he looked at me and did that maniacal laugh that he does. And then everyone said, delete, 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 which I still don't understand. Like, what are they deleting? That's not even nice to say to delete someone out of the face of existence. I don't know. I'm just looking at the chat. It's funny. Hello, hey Melissa, what's going on? This is not Cal. This is Alexa. This is Alexa Bliss. Look her up and look me up, and you'll see we're twins. Yeah. So I don't know. You're more attuned to this storyline. I just love Bray Wyatt. I wish he won, but obviously they can't. What do you think of this match and how it went down and who won?
The match itself, I didn't care for, but I was in the beginning, I did like the mind play that Matt was going for in the match. Because it's usually, what I think they were trying to get at is, how it's usually Bray doing all the mind games and, getting his opponents out of focus. So you kind of had Matt flipping the script this time. I mean, they tried that with Randy, but that just didn't work. And it's actually funny because I saw on Twitter that actually with these two, that House of Horrors match, was that the one with Randy? Or whatever they did at WrestleMania?
Yeah, House of Horrors match.
That ring stuff, that actually probably would have worked better with these two, just because of the characters that they're trying to portray. Anyway, that was a side note. But yeah, like, I don't know if this is WWE, because apparently Matt is supposed to have full control of, like, fleshing this out. But I feel like what they're doing feels like WWE, but I feel like if they just gave Matt full control of his character and let him just run with it and just go full out crazy, I feel like we get a better showcasing of what Woken Matt Hardy is supposed to be.
But what is he supposed to be? Like, can you explain that to me? Like, what is this character? He's just like psychotic, according to Tom Zamini. He's just supposed to be psychotic.
It's I don't quite remember how it started in the other company that shall not be named, but I feel like it was like Matt Hardy was losing a lot and stuff like that, and he claimed to be possessed by this, be a vessel, so to speak, of this other like ancient being, or as you say, one of the gods or whatever. So he's supposed to be like being like possessed by this other being, and then that's where sorry WWE, that's where broken Matt Hardy came, because he broke that Matt Hardy facade and became this I can't get the word up, maybe like celestial being, I don't know, but he had really great vignettes with his wife Reby, his son Maxwell even got involved, and his father-in-law. Like, they had like these really great, entertaining vignettes that you would see before he even was in the ring at first, and that's when you're like, what the heck is going on? And then, you know, it just all just came together when he would have matches, especially these the one that everyone likes to quote is something what they call the final deletion, which was like this big tag team brawl that they had back on the Hardy compound, which it was wacky as all ever, but it was so entertaining, and that's how he kept like getting over. That's why what the fans were. That's why they keep shouting out the delete chants, because he was so over and so entertaining. But in this recent incarnation, it's like you either have to go all the way with it or don't do it at all. And right now they're trying to get that middle ground, and it's not. For me, it's not working. But I still support because I love Matt Hardy. And I want to see him be able to fully go crazy with it.
And he did start out with like that little intro, right? Like he talked about like some planet or something. He's like some being, and I had no idea what he's talking about. It's supposed to be like some like Cthulhu like thing, I think, which was what Bray Wyatt represents. I just didn't understand it. I don't get it.
If I was booking it, it seems like WWE does not want to have patience. They don't like that slow burn payoff. But I would have had Matt lose a couple more matches, and you see the slow decline into Crazy Town, and then you take him off television, and then you start placing those vignettes somewhere down the line, and then you can have him start interrupting Bray, like start Bray start winning some matches, and having him claim to be that that cult leader that he wants to be so much, and then have Matt's vignettes interrupting him. You have people going like, what the hell is this? And then we can have built up to their matches, but we didn't really get that. It seems like they just rushed it, and that's why it's not working for me. For some people it is, but for me I feel like that slow burn, that slow decay into crazy would have worked better.
I don't think they have a problem with rushing things I don't think they mind the slow burn. I think they mind that it's coming from a different company. Vince McMahon's ego will not allow him to accept things that have blossomed elsewhere. He wants everything homegrown.
Yeah. But again, if you would give Matt or work with Matt with the control, you could do a reboot, so to speak, where it's still someone like the same base material, but you're revamping it in some different way to call it your own. I don't know.
I'm very upset. Yep. Well, we'll see what happens. I know Tom is saying in the chat, I know he's on the screen right now too, but Tom's saying in the chat that's why it's so surprising AJ had success. But did he really? He came in and his first match at WrestleMania, well, Royal Rumble he did great, but his first WrestleMania match, he was squashed, right? By, I don't know who it was. It was Chris Jericho, maybe, I think. And then think about Sting too. Sting is the greatest thing to come out of another company. Like, well, now I guess WCW is part of WWE, so you can say that. But he's like the greatest thing. Like he's their icon. He's like that company's biggest name, besides like Ric Flair back in the day, in his NWA. And when Sting came for that one match, like you thought maybe this would be his one and done match. You thought that. And they had Triple H beat him. Like, come on. I was so upset with that. I was so upset. Like Sting as that crow-like figure, he was pretty like not unbeatable. I don't want to say unbeatable, but like people feared him. He had that persona, like that. Hogan didn't want to face him, and like no one wanted to really face him. He was just like so good, and then you just shut him down with like Triple H. That's just what Triple H does. They should call Triple H the Undertaker because he just buries people. Him and Cena, both. They could have a tag team along with, and the Undertaker could be their manager. I don't know, but whatever it is, like that, it's so disgusting. Any last thoughts on the match before we move to the main event?
No, could have been better.
And Matt Hardy won that match, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the final match of the night was the main event, and it was the men's elimination chamber for the first time ever. Now here we go. This is where we get right away the fact checking from Joe, our fact checker. They said this is the biggest ever men's Money in the Bank match, right? I'm not Money in the Bank, sorry, Elimination Chamber, because there's 7 matches. I completely forgot there was a tag team Elimination Chamber, right? You said there was a tag team Elimination Chamber match.
2015.
But Joe, don't forget Braun Strowman counts as 5 guys. So that means this was the big, right? Does that still mean this is the biggest? I don't know. Whatever it is, Braun probably counts as more than one guy. That's why this is the biggest. That's why I think that's why they said that.
Was it
But,
Michael Cole?
Yeah.
Don't cover up for Michael Cole. Don't do that. He doesn't need
yeah,
that.
I know. I was texting you all, texting you both. You and Tom both like, did Michael Cole just say that? He's completely wrong about that. Like, if you look back through our text. But anyway, so this was the 7-man Elimination Chamber match for the shot at Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. So we know we can't talk about Brock Lesnar without our official Brock Lesnar correspondent. So we are calling in the Road Raider himself, Mr. Tom Zambino. Hello, Tom.
Greetings, Cal. How are you today?
Sounding very smooth.
Smooth and radio-like and almost professional.
So since you're calling in for right now, like, what do you think of the night so far up to this point?
Yep.
That's it. Yeah, that's. We were talking about something earlier today on text. It's sucking your soul out. You felt the same way at the pay-per-view up to this point?
I mean, to be fair, it was on in the background. I was playing video games and obviously, folding laundry, taking care of the kitchen. It was there. It happened. Things happened.
So we start out with, I think Elias came out first with his song, right? He was put into a pod. But it was funny. He's like, one thing, he's like, you're probably used to seeing people you love behind bars. I thought that was hilarious. Like, Elias is growing on me. He's really funny. And then
Elias
came
is
out
the man.
Yes, he's awesome. And technically, he was the first man in the chamber, not the Miz. So false advertising right there by WWE. Then, who came out after that? Was it Braun Strowman? Yeah, he had to interrupt him with the Raw thing. Okay, so the Raw happened, and he came out. And then Roman Reigns came out. And then, or maybe John Cena came out. Then Roman Reigns came out. Yeah, John Cena was out first because Roman Reigns went out and did like his thing. Maybe Braun was like last of the four. Who knows? Then came out Miz. Then came out Seth Rollins. And then finally came out Finn Balor. I completely forgot who the last guy was. I'm like, it can't be Dean Ambrose because Dean Ambrose is like injured. I'm like, I was thinking in the back of my head, I was thinking Finn Balor, but I was like, no, wait, is it Finn Balor? And I couldn't remember who it was. And then I'm like, it's got to be Finn Balor. And then it was Finn Balor. And I remember, so I guess I'm going to be wrong. Oh, we don't know. But I think right after WrestleMania last year, I predicted like it's going to be Finn Balor versus Roman Reigns, I think, versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. And Finn Balor would win the title at this year's WrestleMania. It could still happen. Doesn't look like it because he doesn't look like Finn Balor's going to be pushed. But it could still happen. And that's what I thought would happen. But who knows? We'll see. And then so when the match happens, it starts out. Basically, everyone gets into the ring except for Elias, right? And Elias, I think, is supposed to get into the ring, but he hides inside the cage, right? That's what happens. Something like that. So basically, everyone's in the ring except for Elias. And then the first thing happens is Raw! And we get our first power slam, and Braun Strowman eliminates The Miz. A few seconds later, Elias finally comes out because they quadruple team Braun Strowman. And they do the 4-man pin, right? So they do the shield bomb, but with 4 guys, and they do the 4-man pin, and still doesn't pin him because he's too powerful. And then I think that's when Elias comes out and he gets beaten down, and then Raw! And then there's another power slam, and Elias is eliminated. Then I guess a bunch more super moves. Finishing moves. I'm playing too much of Monster Hunter. A bunch more finishing moves, and they still can't eliminate him. And Raw! Another power slam, and Finn Balor's eliminated, right? I think Finn Balor's next. Or is it John Cena? One of the two. Who knows? Who cares? It's the same thing, except we like Finn Balor more, probably. Then there
were power slams. People got eliminated.
Yes. But you can't forget the Raw, because there's a Raw always. And so then I guess it was Cena, like Joe said. And then a few minutes later, we get like a bunch more finishers on Braun, and he still kicks out of all of them. Still, and then Raw, and then Finn Balor gets eliminated. I think you think Braun Strowman would yell SmackDown if he was on SmackDown instead of Raw because he just wants to know he's on Raw. You think that's what it is to remind himself?
As hilarious as that is, I believe he's yelling Braun.
Yeah.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I thought he was like roar because that's how I like to type it
You were
out.
just making fun of him this whole time. I didn't.
No, I thought he was always saying roar. So he forgets his name and he's gotta say his name.
He's yelling his name.
That's not as fun. Raw is so much better. Roar, like roar with an R at the end, but he just doesn't say the R at the end. It's like raw. Like, you know how people say the word drawer? People say draw for the word drawer.
Yeah.
So instead of saying
Look,
raw,
it's just really-
it's saying raw.
It's just really convenient that his name can be basically said in roar form.
Yes. Yeah, so it's like when people hear boo, but they're saying Lou or something like that at like sporting events. People think you're booing them, but they're actually saying Lou, but it's boo. Kind of, whatever. I'm just gonna stick with roar because it's better. So Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and Braun Strowman, and they keep beating him down, double teaming him like the old Shield. They do their little pound, but without Dean Ambrose. And then still, Braun Strowman is relentless, resilient, stopping everything, and then roar, and he power slams Seth Rollins, eliminates Seth Rollins. So then this makes me feel like, can they make him the first ever guy to beat every single person? Technically, he technically won an Elimination Chamber match because normally it'd only be 6 guys, so he eliminated 5, but he would have won. But of course, they got to have Roman Reigns in there still. Why are they going to make Roman Reigns so strong? He took everything Braun Strowman threw at him and then hit him basically with everything he hit Undertaker. That's the only way he can win. They're saying that Braun Strowman is as strong as Undertaker at a WrestleMania because you can't beat Undertaker at WrestleMania unless you do like 2 finishers in a row to him and a signature move right before that. And that's what they did to eliminate Braun Strowman. They cleanly eliminated Braun Strowman, and Roman Reigns is your winner of the Elimination Chamber to face Brock Lesnar. So first, I will go to Alicia now. How did you feel about the match? How things transpired? And what do you think of the winning?
I mean, I knew Reigns. The rumor mill was, of course, Reigns was going to WrestleMania to face Brock. So I was kind of already in the mindset that he was going to win. I didn't like how he won. Again, like you said, they were keeping Braun so strong. And then you hit him with like 2 moves in a row and he's done. I mean, I would have liked it better if Seth was still in it and then they had to legitimately like tag team him to get him out, which I would think would make sense. So beyond that, I thought it was a pretty good match. I was really impressed with Elias in this match. I really thought he held his own. He was basically the rookie with all these veterans. I know Braun is still kind of looked like as a rookie because in his singles career, but he's been there for years along with the Wyatt family. So for him to hang in there with the vets and still look good and not feel like he was like the weak link, I thought it was. I feel like he was maybe not the MVP, but he was most improved of the match. I don't know, but of course,
but don't you think it looks bad when 4 people do like a super move to him and all together pin him and they can't pin him and then one guy beats him? Even if Seth Rollins and him double teamed him to beat him, it would have to take a lot of wear and tear down on him. I know they kept hitting him with moves and moves. It was all throughout the match. You could say the wear and tear on him finally wore him down. But still, even I think if 4 guys tried to beat him, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you. It was like that. It was like him versus Brock Lesnar all over again. Then like one F5, he was done. Like what? Anyway, so that was the disappointing part of the match. But overall, I enjoyed it.
Now, as I go to Tom, who's a big Brock Lesnar guy, but he also likes Braun Strowman, I got to ask you this as a lead into cutting to you. Had Roman Reigns went, hooah, and Braun Strowman went, raw at the same time, would the sound waves have collided and caused the arena to collapse?
No, I'm pretty sure the counter force would be too much for Reigns' weak little lungs to handle, and he would just collapse and drop in the ring. That would be disastrous, Cal.
Actually, I think that explains. I think Tom solved it. That explains why he always does it towards like the audience and the hard camera, never at a person, because they would just collapse. Their bones would just shatter. So how'd you feel about this match, Tom? I know how you felt about how the result happened, but walk me through the match. How'd you feel as it was going on?
Well, I mean, the beginning was the best part. Elias doing that song was fantastic. I really hope they give him something good for WrestleMania. It looks like they might be looking at Balor. It would be really cool if he could face Miz for the Intercontinental title, get a title around him or something. I feel like he'd be really cool with the Intercontinental title, continuing to act as cocky as he does. So he was probably the most impressive. I think I texted you within the match. I wish Seth Rollins even had a puncher's chance, but we all know the only person that had an opportunity other than Reigns was maybe Strowman if they decided to, but they did not decide to, and we all knew that was going to happen, and that just kind of took away from the match, especially as you said, they tried to keep Braun strong, but he still seems strong, but they keep pushing Braun to no payoff where they keep forcing Reigns, and it's really weird. And that just made the match weird, you know?
And when is Braun ever going to get the payoff? That's what we're wondering right now, because we've already seen Reigns there. That's how I feel. And I like what you said about Elias. I don't know if I want him to be The Miz because I love The Miz. But yeah, him winning the title, the Intercontinental title, will look good on him. I just wanted The Miz to get the record for having the longest, not the longest reign, but the longest total ever reign in the modern era. It might be ever, actually, for Intercontinental. I think if he holds it through WrestleMania, or maybe after WrestleMania, he has the longest ever accumulated record of holding the Intercontinental titles. That's what I want him to have, because he loves it. He is very passionate about that title. He loves it. That's like his calling. So I wouldn't mind him losing to Elias. That would be kind of cool. And I feel like Elias with it would have kind of like the shades of the Honky Tonk Man back in the day, how you had the little impromptu concerts with the belt. And even Jeff Jarrett, who's being nominated into the Hall of Fame, inducted into the Hall of Fame, same thing when he was Intercontinental Champion and having little impromptu concerts and all that. It's the same kind of like old school feel, which I like. Your thoughts on Elias? I know you enjoyed it, Delisha. And what about how Tom is saying him going for the IC title?
Yeah, I could see that he seems to be getting like a stronger push than when he first came up to the main roster. But yeah, I mean, I'm getting like I'm a big Miz fan, so I wouldn't want to see him lose the belt. But to give Elias that push, I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. But that could be the WrestleMania Intercontinental match going forward. We could see that.
Maybe throwing Balor in there too. I don't know. I don't know. Well, I want Balor to be in the main event, but who knows? Vince won't have that. Vince would never have that. Does Joe want to talk about how he felt about the match before we go into like each person's future? Joe, you want to talk about how he thought about the Elimination Chamber as he descends from the rafters like Sting? You're gonna lose your one match to Triple H. Just don't fight Triple H, man.
Well, I'd say the men's Elimination Chamber match was all right. It had its spots, and Elias did fairly well, and Strowman got all the eliminations except for the key elimination. But then in the end, he still looked somewhat strong. And of course, we kind of knew that it was going to be Roman Reigns, because Roman Reigns is the chosen one by Vince and the powers that be at WWE. Because basically the Roman Reigns is the next John Cena. Roman Reigns is going to be the one that kicks out of the F5. And now so it seems inevitable, but then at the same, although also I will have to say that the other rumor I've heard is that it's going to be Braun Strowman and The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. Remember, Braun Strowman owns a pinfall victory over The Miz at the end of that gauntlet match last week on Raw. So I could definitely see them going in a storyline with that. I could also see them going in another direction where they could include Elias in the match. Or maybe Elias ends up being the winner of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which, as we've known so far, hasn't meant squat. But it would be nice if they actually gave the winner of that Battle Royal a title shot, a future title opportunity or something, just something to make it look like it pays. It's actually important to win that match.
But you get that big inconvenient trophy
that just gets broken.
And maybe Gronkowski will win it. That would be even worse. So I guess we talk about the individual thing before we go into our closing question. Well, one of our closing questions. we think Elias. Are we feeling good about Elias first? Because we're not going to see Raw until WrestleMania, right? Or Raw brand pay per view until WrestleMania, right?
Yeah.
I like Tom's idea. Elias, Miz. Is that what you guys are thinking too?
Yeah. I don't. Do you think maybe this is one too many tournaments, but maybe some sort of like I don't know tournament? I don't know. We haven't had a beat the clock challenge in a while. I feel like they could bring that in there for a chance to go for the Intercontinental. What do you think?
Well, Seth Rollins wouldn't win that because he'd be in there for an hour before he pinned somebody. So I doubt that. That was great. That was a great night though. Like I would be kind of mad that I only saw like 2 matches at a Raw, but like those are all good matches.
Yeah. At first, I wasn't into it, and then I kept watching. I was like, okay, this is pretty good.
So I think we might see Seth versus, I'm sorry, Elias versus Miz. So that gets rid of 2 of the people from 2 of the 7. We already know Roman is going to fight. What's his face?
Yeah, but there's one problem with Elias versus the Miz. It's heel versus heel. They don't usually do that.
No, yeah, but one of them could turn by then. Everyone's starting to like the Elias now, and Miz is like just everyone loves Miz. He's awesome. Yeah, I guess, or like you said, like it could be Braun. So that's the route I was gonna go next, but I want to say Braun for last. So we have Seth Rollins, who's probably gonna face Jason Jordan, I guess. Maybe.
No,
He's gonna be ready for WrestleMania.
Oh, he's not gonna be ready. Okay, then maybe Finn Balor. That'd be a good match. Seth versus Finn Balor.
could be.
It's the nobody has anything to do match.
Right.
Yeah, basically.
I feel like they could have a number 1 contenders match between them or something. I don't know what they can do, man. But like these people who have so much talent and so much potential, they have nothing. Like, so I'm asking, like, what are they gonna do with these people? Elias, we don't know. Maybe Miz, but then we can't have heel versus heel. Then we have Seth Rollins, we have Finn Balor. What are we gonna do? John Cena. We probably, if we turn on our TV right now, we'll probably know what's happening to him in a few minutes. I haven't got the notification on my phone because ESPN usually covers these stories, but like Delisha and I were talking about. Maybe he'll have a speech saying like, I tried my hardest and I want something at WrestleMania and I can't get it. I've beaten everybody. There's no one I can't beat at WrestleMania. Then you hear boom and Undertaker. And like, I know Tom is loving that. I know he can't wait. He's got his whole gloves on. He's got the Alexa Bliss gloves on. He's got his John Cena towel, headband, wristband, and Undertaker gloves and tie and hat on, ready to go for that match. Right, Tom?
Oh, yes. I really want to see my childhood favorite wrestler be trotted out and slog his way through another embarrassing matchup. I am so excited for that.
I don't know. I heard he's been looking in really good shape, so who knows? I only know this from Michelle McCool,
yeah,
and all her workout videos with her and Mark. But yeah, I mean that seems to be the rumor mill going around as John Cena versus Taker. But I kind of feel like this is like 3 years too late. Once again.
Yep.
I don't know.
So that leaves us with Braun. So Joe says a possible match would be Braun versus Miz for the Intercontinental Championship, which is very plausible from like what he said. He does hold a win over Miz, and what he's been feuding with the Miz once in a while here and there, from what I've seen. What else could we have for him? Can you guys see
a live gorilla?
A live gorilla.
Well, also remember Braun does have the feud from back at Survivor Series with Triple H.
No, it's probably gonna be Triple H and Stephanie versus Angle and Rousey, or The Rock and Rousey. Probably Angle and Rousey.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about Brock. Like Tom said, they keep giving him this push to no payoff, so I don't know. He's probably going to win the Andre Memorial Battle Royal. I don't know.
Now, here's what my question that I posed to you guys last night. How do you guys feel about WrestleMania having rematches? I feel like because those rematches usually happen at Backlash anyway, so why have a match that we've already had for WrestleMania now happen again? So like we're having Brock versus Roman again, right? Because that already happened, but that's when Seth cashed in, right? Eventually Seth cashed in. So I guess I'll go Delisha first. How do you feel about rematches? What do you want to see rematches? And I know you said the easy. Like I said, I challenge you guys to say not to say it depends on the rematch. What would you like to see WrestleMania? Do you like seeing these rematches that you've seen already?
As far as the current storylines are going, no, there really isn't a rematch that I would want. I don't know, maybe an AJ versus John Cena because they had a really good match, but I don't at this point since I think that was before the brand split, was it?
No, that was Royal Rumble 2017.
Oh right, that was because never mind. There really isn't anyone right now I would love to see a rematch of. So right now my answer would be like no. But it because honestly, Kyle, it really is because whatever the storyline progresses to, like if it made sense and I could see that, and they're two good competitors, I could see why a rematch will happen. But and as of now, no. The only one of the best rematches I told you last night that I could think of on top of my head was that Taker versus Shawn Michaels match because in the storyline it made sense. He wanted to go back and be like, "Give me another shot. I want to be the one to take you down," and that's why he fought so hard in that Royal Rumble. And when he got eliminated, I think by Batista or Randy Orton, he sold that devastation so well. So when we finally did get that rematch, you understood why Shawn wanted to win so bad, why he put his career on the line. But recently, I can't think of anyone else at this current time I would like to see a rematch of.
All right, before I go to Tom, I want to respond to that. Like, I agree with you. That was probably the greatest. Like, I think I said it to you last night too. That was probably the greatest set of rematches we've ever seen in WrestleMania history. Yes, I agree with that. But I think it's a different time now. Now we have such an extensive roster with all the people, like we just said 5 minutes ago. A lot of people have nothing to do. So why are we going to recycle matches? That's what I say. So I guess I'll just give my answer right now. WrestleMania has always been, since day one, the granddaddy of them all, right? The biggest stage, the showcase of champions or showcase of mortals, whatever they call it. I want to see dream matches. Save that for WrestleMania. Like when I went to WrestleMania, was it 29? It was the same match from the year prior to that, whereas Rock versus Cena, but this time it was for the title, so it makes a difference. You know, it was the same match pretty much, same sets of things that happening back and forth. It's almost identical match as the year before it. You know, except for now there's a title on the line. WrestleMania should be dream matches. Shinsuke versus AJ, that is great. I mean, I know that's happened elsewhere in Japan and all that, but in WWE ring, that's what people want to see. Sasha and Bailey, I know that happened in NXT. Okay, that's fine. It's probably happened here. That's happened here too. So why not like Charlotte versus Rousey or something? Whatever, Asuka versus Charlotte, whatever it is. Like those are like those new types of matches that we have not seen that we want to see. WrestleMania should be dream matches, no recycle matches, because you know you're going to see it again at Backlash. That's how it's always been. We see it again at Backlash. So why are we seeing it over and over? Now, as much as Tom hates to see Undertaker versus John Cena, that is kind of something new. I know. I'm pretty sure they've probably fought before, and our fact checker can check that. They've probably definitely fought before because I can't see them being this long, but never at a WrestleMania. I don't know. I just don't want these rematch from WrestleMania that have already happened because that's what Backlash is for. All right, I'm gonna go to Tom now. How do you feel? What do you think about this? Like,
are you asking? So, the heart of the question: are you asking whether a rematch, whether we should have WrestleMania rematches at WrestleMania, or just a rematch overall?
Well, see, the reason why I posed that was because we already had Brock versus Braun. I'm sorry, Brock versus Roman. That's why I'm so upset that we're getting it again. And then they made me think of Rock versus Cena, and they had that 2 years in a row. Stuff like that is what upsets me at WrestleManias. Like we already had that at WrestleMania. Why do it again? Just have the other guy be put over this time, even though Brock didn't lose that match. I mean, he lost the match, but he didn't lose the match. Are they going to make it now? The only thing I could do to spice that match up now that we've already seen it is throw Braun in there as well. So how do you feel about like?
But I think we would be a little more excited about a rematch of that nature if it kind of built organically. The way it built it's just, we've been killing time for about 6 months now or so, just waiting for Roman to face Brock. They've just been avoiding the elephant in the room by throwing an elephant at Brock occasionally. But if they had built that a little more organically, like it's not like he held a grudge for a really long time against Seth, which he should have. If they wanted to build this rematch properly, if they built that Reigns felt he got wronged and maybe like beat the hell out of Seth and destroyed him at some point to earn that title shot back. Like if he flipped out on Seth in the chamber, that might have helped anticipation of this match because we never really got the payoff of that match. So I think it could have worked if you let it form organically rather than this is happening. We've known it's going to happen for a while. There's going to be no story to it. He just won this match and now he gets to fight.
So you're basically
doesn't really answer. What's that?
Well, I mean, yeah, you're basically on the same page as Delisha. It's how they build up to it and how the story goes, and you want it to be more organic. I completely agree with that. It's just I'm tired. Like, why watch this when I can just watch wrestling? I know it's gonna be different. But it's just I don't know.
It's like when they rematched Goldberg and Brock. That built well. Like they built that Goldberg had Brock's number. That he was the guy that could beat Brock, and Brock had to overcome that. They built that rematch organically, and you never got that payoff originally. I remember that match because those two were some of my favorites back then. And like everyone else, everyone was disappointed at that match. And it was kind of that redemption story in both regards that we never quite got that payoff, and Brock never quite overcame Goldberg. That built organically.
You're talking about their initial match from what summer? Was it Survivor Series or whatever? When they fought for like 3 minutes or whatever it was?
No, I'm talking the Stone Cold Stunner match.
Okay, so yeah, I was there. I was there that night, and so that was WrestleMania 20, and everyone in the audience during that match was saying this match sucks, which they took out of the audio in the DVD, and everyone was screaming for Hogan and Savage because there's like Hogan and Savage impersonators in the audience, so people were watching them dance and stuff in the audience as opposed to the match. And because I agree, I felt the same way. So this match did pay off more than that, and the buildup was a lot better, yes. But I don't know, we've seen that match already.
Yeah, but we didn't see a good one.
Yeah, that's true. So maybe this will be better. I feel like I don't know. If you're talking about WrestleMania being like the Showcase of Immortals being your biggest event of all the time, like, it's just I want it to be new, fresh, dream match. This is what people talk about dream matches. This is what, and I don't want them to look back and be like, Austin, who would you want to face, like, or fought as your dream match? They could have made that happen back in the day instead of having him fight like Rock 3 times. Right? I mean, those are all great matches. But like I said, at that time, it wasn't the pool of superstars and talent that we have now, right? And the fact that we have cross brands too, like they're probably going to fight within their own brands that much more. Have that cross pollination in WrestleMania, like they did at Survivor Series. That's how I see it. Dream matches. We have a big pool. Have people who probably wouldn't face until WrestleMania or one of the big 4 pay-per-views. That's just how I see it.
Side note, that's a great idea to use half the folks we were just talking about in the Elimination Chamber. Team Raw versus Team SmackDown Part 2.
But they're gonna say that for Survivor Series because that's what always happens.
Except no one cares about Survivor Series.
But what stakes are they gonna have at WrestleMania? Winner gets Monday night slot? No, I don't know. What can they do?
They never have stakes for these Team Raw versus Team SmackDown, but they're always pretty fun.
Always, yeah.
Have T-bones.
They should just have it so that if you win, you get Braun Strowman's shirt that he's sweating because it makes you instantly at least 20% stronger. So that's what they should go with. That's the best segment I've ever seen since like the Booker T Goldust at the movie.
Is wrestling an RPG now? You get plus 20 strength when
I sent you the video last night. Didn't you watch the video? I sent it to you last night. I texted it to you.
Apparently not.
Watch the video. It's so funny. It's like, how there is Team Little Bigs, Alexa Bliss, and so he goes, I know it's not a semi truck or a ambulance. We're gonna start something small, and there's a car there, and she goes, yeah, but I could just wear my own gear. He goes, no, I've worn that shirt. I've sweated in that shirt, and she's like, ew, and he's like, that will make you instantly 20 to 30% stronger than you already are. Now come over here. Like, you gotta watch it. Just so hilarious, those two together. Like, I laughed so loud when he said that's gonna make you 20 to 30% instantly stronger. Like, it's so funny. Watch that video. It's in your text message. I sent it to you. But yeah, so I guess Roman Reigns is your winner. He's going on to WrestleMania. We're gonna have another rematch of what we saw before. But this time, Seth Rollins won't cash in. Neither will Baron Corbin. Woo! I mean, not that he could anyway because of SmackDown, but you know what I mean. Oh, we forgot about Carmella, but that's a different pay-per-view. It's a different pay-per-view, Rand.
Yep, and if you want my thought on Carmella, I could see the trade being Asa for Carmella, and then Carmella cashes in for the Raw Championship at some point.
But the briefcase is blue. How can she do that? It doesn't register. It doesn't compete with them. I do love her video. I think I sent them to Alicia, like her Snapchats or Instagram, where she puts the money in the briefcase the briefcase in a seatbelt. Like she puts a seatbelt on it in the chair. It's so funny.
Yeah, the solution to the color problem: a can of red spray paint.
Yeah, but I think the briefcase is white and green, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
is it? I didn't know. I thought it was blue. Yeah. Oh well.
No.
That's the
red spray painted anyway.
All right, so I guess our final thoughts on the night does Joe. I'll go with Tom first. Tom, low point, high point, and overall grade.
Are we not going to talk about the contract signing?
Oh my God!
What contract signing?
Momentous I don't know what you're talking about. There was a contract signing last night that we forgot about, or I forgot about at least, because it was. I look at the Wikipedia results. I forgot about that. Yes, Ronda Rousey came, and I thought she would go to SmackDown because Shane and them would like tease her to come over to SmackDown or something. And they kind of did that. And then she slammed Triple H through a table. And that was it. She signed the contract. And it's looking like Kurt Angle and Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie. And that's about it. Anything else, Felicia, you want to add to that?
I actually like the thoughts on Twitter of it just being Rousey versus Triple H. Anyway, no.
Somehow better than Rousey versus Stephanie.
Yeah. I mean, Stephanie's not a wrestler, but she can hold her own. I'm not gonna lie.
She is a former women's champion.
That doesn't mean shit in the attitude. Anyway, sorry, family show.
You don't want Triple H versus Rousey? Oh, I don't care if that happened, but Rousey's gonna lose because Triple H's not gonna let her win. Can't let Sting win. Why would they let Rousey win?
Yeah, again with this whole Rousey thing. Again, the stuff was there. I just think it could have been better executed. Well, Kurt can't act. He needs to go to improv classes like they did with Roman Reigns.
And Stephanie and sorry to interrupt you, but Stephanie and Triple H were blocking Rousey's view of Kurt. So why was she like, Kurt, is everything okay? Like she wasn't looking. She's looking down, and then she's like, Kurt, is everything okay? Like it was so weird. Like, come on. Yeah,
I really think if just a quick 15-30 second view of like Triple H, Kurt, and Stephanie like in their office or whatever you want to call it. Just having them, you didn't even have to have them talk, but like the sound on, you can see them talking, and just Kurt with a befuddled or like some sort of look. I don't know. Well, based on the vignette, based on the contract signing, he couldn't pull that off anyway. But I feel like just something simple as that would just give a callback to like, oh, I guess they were talking about Ronda that way, because like we had no precursor to Stephanie or Triple H feeling that way from an event that happened 2 years ago,
3 years ago, WrestleMania 31.
3 years ago.
Well, according to Kurt, it was WrestleMania 21 or whatever he said.
31.
No, but I'm saying just a small detail like that of just showing them three in the office like before the contract signing, just talking. Like I said, then you need to have the sound on. Just you see them together talking with Kurt, like with some not wanting to be on the train, so to speak. And then when we had that moment, you'd be like, "Oh, okay, I get it. They wanted Kurt to play along, but he didn't want to be a team player." And so just little things like that, like little details like that.
Well, you
like,
still got the Kurt Angle Triple H feud.
Again, that happened how long ago? It's like I don't know. It's just.
Yeah, but it's another one that hasn't paid off.
It's just the little things that pay off for big moments.
Tom, any thoughts on the signing?
Nope.
I also still hate her theme music. Yes.
Well, that's her theme song from UFC. That's what it is.
Hey, don't hate on Joan Jett. Joan Jett is fantastic.
And Joan Jett is a woman.
I don't think it fits Ronda. That's what I'm.
She has a bad reputation.
Anyway,
that's her UFC theme song and Strikeforce theme song. It's just how it's always been. So that's just what it is.
You're right though. It doesn't fit. It does sound weird, but Joan Jett is amazing.
No.
So what song is it? I don't even know what song is it.
I didn't like it.
It's called "Bad Reputation" by Joan Jett and the Blackbirds.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's it. I don't know. Now I remember. It's just taking me a while. Yeah.
No, it's not the song I don't like. It's just I feel like it didn't fit. That's it. That's all I'm trying to get at. I do like the song, just not for this particular for her in this particular setting. And apparently she's going to be a big the baby face. Is that what we're going with? She's a baby face.
Yep.
For now, yeah.
Okay, the badass. Okay, all right. So she's kind of like Oscar, the badass baby face, sort of.
They should put each other into an armbar and see what happens at the same time if possible.
So, do we think that Ronda's not gonna have a match until WrestleMania? Is that what it looks like we might be?
They'll never have it. They would never have a matchup for her before WrestleMania.
I just want to see if that was clear.
That's their big payoff.
All right, well, we will see. So far, I'm not impressed, but we will see. I am curious to see how she does in the ring. I do want to see that though, but so far
I will tell you how her match is gonna go. She's gonna lock up, do a judo flip, and then put him into an armbar, and that's pretty much gonna be it. It's gonna be a tag team match, so Kurt Angle will probably start, get beaten up, get the hot tag. Then it's gonna have to be like Stephanie come in and get judo flipped, or Triple H get judo flipped, and both of them. One of them's gonna be an ankle lock, and one of them's gonna be in the arm bar, and they're both gonna tap at the same time. Period.
Probably.
In the story.
Okay, I'm curious to see her in a legit wrestling match. That's what I'm curious.
I will tell you, Snooki will have a better WrestleMania match than Ronda Rousey. Mark my words, because Snooki did a backhand spring Tajiri move into the corner. Any more thoughts on the Rousey signing? Joe, anything?
Nothing more than I've already put down.
Okay. All right. So, Tom, we'll start with your low point, your high point, and your overall grade.
Go lay down.
Oh man, I totally forgot what my low point was. I guess low point, everything that wasn't a chamber match. Let's go with that. Let's go with literally everything that wasn't a chamber match, because most of it was just filler, a pointless waste of time, and most of it I wasn't even paying attention to because it really didn't matter. Even like the cool spots with Asuka and Nia, it didn't matter in this grand scheme of things. It just got another dominant force looking much less dominant, and it was just crap. Anything that wasn't a chamber match was just kind of boring and undeveloped. High point. Promos by Elias and Alexa. The matches, take them or leave them, but those two promos before the men's chamber and after the women's chamber were probably the best things that happened all night. And that leads into the grade, which I thought that Elimination Chamber was mostly a waste of time that didn't really advance much to WrestleMania except for the Roman Reigns match that we all knew was happening. Otherwise, nothing got pushed forward or resolved or anything. So it gets a D+ on the backs of Elias and Alexa.
Okay, we're gonna go to Joe next. Joe.
Let's see. I'd say my high point for the night would have been the women's Elimination Chamber match and the promo that Alexa delivered afterwards, especially the fact that how she started the promo. She started it. She was very much like pure baby face, like so happy, so proud. But then she went back to being her heelish self and managed to say that none of you are ever gonna live or ever gonna see your dreams come true, yada yada yada, and that was, which pretty much sold to me, which is when I finally was sold that okay, Alexa's still gonna be the heel, at least for now. I would say, as far as the low point of the night, it's a little tough to choose. I would say probably like the least impressive match of the night was probably the tag team championship match between the champions DeBar and Titus Worldwide, and it was kind of like more or less it was most. I mean, we saw most of the match. We just saw Apollo getting beat up and trying to fight back, and it just like. I mean, it seemed like the match could go either way, but in the end, you kind of knew that they weren't gonna that the bar wasn't gonna drop the tag titles to Titus and Apollo. That at least not that night. But now we could. But now we could end up. But now I feel like we're gonna have the same thing as last year at WrestleMania, where we have a bunch of tag teams involved in one match. So we could have another tag team ladder match for the Raw tag team titles at WrestleMania. Overall, great for the pay per view. I'm gonna go with a C because the bookends were very good. The two promos were good. But then the middle of it was, as Tom mentioned, mostly filler. I mean, the Nia Asuka match was good, but then the Hardy Wyatt match was just like fair, and then the others, and then that's pretty much it.
Now that you say it, the Titus and Apollo team just have cool names. They should be like renamed like the Power and Glory, like back in the day with Hercules and Paul Roma. They're like Power and Glory, something like that, like some Greek god names. That would be cool. And having that match, the tag team match, the winners of that match would be the Authors of Pain. Okay, go ahead, Alicia, your turn.
So my
of the 4-man tag team match for the ladder, whatever he was saying, that the winners of that match would be the Authors of Pain. But go ahead.
Yeah, my low point is probably going to be Kurt's acting skills through that whole contract signing segment. Because that took me out of it, among other things. I think my high point would probably be the chamber matches. I mean, for the pay-per-view being called the Elimination Chamber, they had to be solid, which I think they did a good job of showcasing everyone in each chamber's matches. I just want to give a second high point to Nia and Asuka for that barricade cell. That was great. I've watched that a couple of times last night. Anyway, I think the overall grade is just going to be a solid C. While the two booking matches were great, the matches in between were okay to not so great. So I would give it it was like I said, solid pay-per-view, solid C. Let's see what Fastlane gives us.
So for me, I would have to say the low point was I agree with Tom. Pretty much everything that wasn't the Elimination Chamber, especially the Bray Wyatt, Matt Hardy thing, because I didn't understand what was going on. I kept having to text Tom like, what is happening? Like, what is this? Why is he deleting the opposite way? Because if you delete it, you're supposed to be going this way, backwards, not forwards, unless you're reading in a different language, like I was saying. The high point was like I had to agree the promos by Little Miss Bliss and Elias, those were great, and also the Nia spot through the barricade, that was great, as well as how strong Braun Strowman looked. That was awesome, and the Twisted Bliss off the pod, and just both those matches were great for the Elimination Chamber. The overall grade, I pretty much spot on with Tom, is C- D+. Pretty awful pay-per-view in my opinion. I wasn't expecting a lot, but I also didn't get a lot, so what can I say? So that's pretty much it. They won't see us until actually it's pretty soon, actually 2 weeks, which is the Fastlane, which is a SmackDown pay-per-view, and then you won't see us for a while until WrestleMania. But before we go out, we want to make sure we tell you where you can find all of us. So we're going to start with Tom first. Tom, where can we find you and what have you been up to? I know what you've been up to pretty recently, but you can go and tell us about that.
You can find me at the usual locations on Twitter at RoadRaider3. And you can find on YouTube Zed Reviews. Just search that. I'm the only channel there. We just had the season 2 premiere of Cars and Popcorn, which Cal was on. He stepped up and played trivia against Bill Carriola, and we were talking James Bond. It was a really fun show, so go ahead and give it a watch.
Okay, Delisha?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Delisha_Renee, and apparently Joe's gonna do his own plug because apparently I'm not doing a great job.
Here we go. That's our whole stick where you just say You could maybe find Joe on Facebook. He'll add you or maybe not. Oh, but okay, we got something new now. Here we go.
And well, you can find me on Facebook and YouTube. SEPTA3371 CSX1 for both. That'll definitely bring you to me because Joe Butler is a fairly common name. And I will say I have a large backlog for YouTube because I haven't uploaded anything in about 4 years. But when I get around to it, I will upload stuff.
I'll put it on my Twitter.
And that's it.
You can also find me later on tonight on AfterMat panel where we're talking Black actors and Black excellence in honor of Black History Month. So guys, check that out as well.
Which was actually Delicia's suggestion. She wanted to have Black History Month for celebration of Black History Month on Odd channel. So we're gonna have it right after this, immediately following this on the Odd Shape channel on the show Odd Shape panel. So come check that out. As for me, you can find me on Twitter at VeeranJaDejaVu. Please like and subscribe to this video and to this channel, the Kingslayer Network. I post videos daily. I stream daily on something called Kingslaying. Currently, I'm playing Monster Hunter World. Pogo's in the chat. Pogo's a big supporter of mine. Please check out his channel. He's in the chat. You can click on his link. He streams video games every day as well. And he has giveaways and he plays a lot of great games and has content and is very interactive with the people in the chat because he plays games with the people in the chat. So please check him out as well. Also, like I said, I have that not I myself, but I am promoting this GoFundMe that my friend is having, one of the Kingsmen, for their disabled mother who has multiple sclerosis. So please, if you want to at least help raise awareness, please retweet it out. But if you want to donate, please get at me on Twitter or Discord, and I'll give you the information about it. If you have already, please also just let me know because the person who's running the GoFundMe would like to reward you and as a special thank you for donating. I want to thank Megan Gregory, who was the first donator for it. So check her channel out also on Twitter, Megan Gregory. On YouTube, Megan Gregory. On Twitter, you can find her at Wicked Horse 145. Other than that, you can find me this Friday if you're watching this live. On Friday, Flashpoint returns, so I'll give you the recap of Flash. And on Monday, I'm sure we're gonna have a Gamer Grudge. I don't know when that ever is. I'm just always told on the spot, pretty much. So come check that out. And then once again, you'll see us at Fastlane, the SmackDown period. Thank you. Yeah. And then we have WrestleMania after that. And then we have something special that we have on the works that I emailed all you guys about. We won't talk about it on air yet, but we have something special planned for you guys as our season finale because, we're going to call it a season from from Backlash to WrestleMania, whatever you want to call it. That's what we're going to call our season finale after WrestleMania. So we have something special for you guys there. Until next time, keep slamming. And I don't know. I can't think of a clever thing to say about this. Just roar! And then for the SmackDown one, I'll probably say SmackDown, but no. All right, see you guys later.
Later.